Welcome back. Well, it's time to have a look at some of those Sunday newspapers so that you know exactly what to anticipate as you go get yourself a nice cup of coffee as well as a newspaper to kick off your week, and so that you know exactly what you can expect this week. And I've got my colleague Morena Mothupi joining me for this conversation. Morena, never a dull moment with you as we take a look at what's happening in and around our world. I will start off. I don't know about you, but how have you been handling the fuel price increase?
I've not.
Okay.
I've not been handling it.
At all?
The car I drive is sitting at a capacity of 55 liters. So I've stopped even trying to calculate how much a full tank is.
Yeah.
And when it was announced by the finance minister, I think it was, he was like, there's going to be that relief of 150 over 2 months. I'm thinking, okay, thanks, I guess.
No, I don't even. Do you know what I do now? I don't fill up my petrol. No, it's bad. Actually, I don't fill up my petrol because I'm so scared of the figures at the final figures. So what I do is I keep going and I fill up like half tank because it still makes sense to me. Because as soon as it goes full, I'm going to go, what the heck am I doing? Why am I spending so much?
Okay, but
so now I do half and half and half. Why?
You drive every day.
Yes.
Like 7 days a week.
Yes.
You've got work to go to.
Yes.
So why do you do that to yourself?
Because it psychologically helps me to bear the pain of fuel. And speaking about fuel, Sunday Times newspaper, it's a front pager. A new era for the SA fuel pricing because government has set the ball rolling to free up South Africa's highly regulated fuel prices, allowing for retailers to compete now, by the way, on price and offer motorists discounts and special offers to fill up at their stations. I'm probably going to need like a reward for filling up my tank because I don't even know how much it will cost me to fill up my tank anymore.
I just do it because you know what? Just bite the bullet and just suffer that pain. I understand why
my bullet is going to be like 2,000 rand or something.
I understand why you don't do it.
Yeah,
and I understand why everybody else doesn't do it. But yeah,
it's a terrible one. Get yourself a Sunday paper. It's also around the perjury. They're saying perjury just smallanyana for stuff for Batabile. There it is a front page. Also take a look at some of the out and abouts of the A-listers in the country. What do you have?
City Press, nice and bold. Northwest pays 17 billion rands back to Treasury.
Oh wow!
That's because they are not spending their money. Now this is something I think the Eastern Cape was also struggling with.
Yeah.
The province's government departments have failed to use their budgets, leaving, as you can imagine, citizens in dire straits. Now, of course, just the first paragraph saying that the Northwest has one of the worst service delivery records. We've had our own colleague, Buleli Treaty Jones, going out to the Northwest a couple of times to reflect that, of course, and it's on the verge of giving back 17 billion rands of a total combined budget of 57.4 billion rands. I mean,
it gave it back.
They're having to give it back to Treasury because they're not using it as they should. They're not using the money that Treasury gives them to help their citizens.
I don't understand the Northwest province, and God bless my surname that comes from there, but it really is, there's water issues,
yes,
right? People don't have access to adequate water and water infrastructure problems in the Northwest.
Yes.
There's roads issues, right? There are certain centers, I think it was at Mahikeng, that are certain like art centers that were pride for being able to develop youth talent and upcoming talent, gymnastics, dancing, all of this. That's dilapidated. They're dilapidated infrastructure programs there, and then we're giving money back to Is it because I don't understand? If they give you money and then you give it back, it means that you don't have problems. So what does it mean?
You see, I want to look at the positives of these kinds of situations where money's been given back to Treasury by the government, local government departments, to say, at least they're not putting it in their pockets, right?
Yeah.
But then the bigger narrative, the bigger situation is you are not spending the money to help your citizens, and that is a problem. But nevertheless, quickly, just if you're wondering why there's a whole picture in front here, that is the former Miss South Africa, Tamarind Green, having tied the knot officially with her partner, a entrepreneur, Ze Ngumalo. So that is what we've got there from the A-listers, as you mentioned.
I love weddings. I get so happy. I love. It's very romantic. And then I've got the Mail and Guardian. Don't look at me like with a very goofy smile. I do. I love. Mail and Guardian. It's obviously Friday. Operation Dudula endorsed by the ANC. I don't know, maybe if you managed to see that. It's actually been a big investigative piece there by the Mail and Guardian. The Dudula operation has got the ANC stamp of approval despite warnings that vigilante organizations can become xenophobic and violent. The ANC says more grassroots groups like these are needed in the country. If you have not gotten yourself a Mail and Guardian from Friday, just check it out. It's a very interesting read, actually.
And while you're on that Operation Dudula talk, of course, we've got the leader, Nhlanhla Lux Dlamini. He is being, he's got a 700,000 rand debt. That's the story on page 3.
What debt?
From an events company that, are asking for, of course, a delinquent bill. He's facing a claim of a delinquent bill. So the problems for this man do not stop.
Oh, wow.
They really don't stop.
They don't ask for... Yeah, but I won't lie to you. The fact that he's got endorsed by the ANC certainly does put... Or the allegations that allegations that is endorsed by the ANC certainly does put a different spin on things, because that would mean that there's a lot of political interference and there's more that just meets the eye. Bye.